Hey guys, Ryan here. What if I told you that right now in Warzone, there's a gun that kills faster than the Fennec, it has less recoil than the Fennec, and I think overall is a much better option for the vast majority of players. If you're wondering what that gun is, it's the STB 556. So let's go over the build that I recommend for most people to use. So right now in the background, you're seeing it. However, there's one small change you have to keep in mind. If you're playing quads or trios, I'd really recommend to switch that rear pistol grip in favor of the 42 round magazine. If you're playing solos and duos or even mini royale trios and you're confident in your positioning, you can get away with the 30 round mag like I do, and I run it with the rear grip. However, if I'm being realistic, I do think it's better for most people to probably use the 42 round mag, specifically if they play a lot of trios and quads. So right now in the background, you're seeing me using the firing range, and I'm not really sure this is a good example because I noticed in the firing range on my PC, there is just way too much smoke that comes off the barrel of the gun. I don't know why. It doesn't happen in real game, only happens in the firing range. But if you see right now in the background, this gun really does not have that much recoil at all. And if we compare it to the Fennec, the other gun that would compete with it in the close range meta, it is vastly superior in terms of recoil control, and the craziest thing is, it's also superior in terms of raw time to kill. Let me show you what I mean by that. So right now the Fennec kills in 516 milliseconds and the STB kills in 486 milliseconds. That means that the STB is the fastest killing assault rifle and SMG in the entire game of Warzone 2. Now there are an LMG and a couple pistols that technically kill faster than the Fennec and STB, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend using those unless you're very good at playing around the limits of those weapons. I'm going to put the build up one more time on the screen, so make sure you screenshot it and grab the build right now before it goes. Now, like any gun in Warzone, this gun is not perfect. One downside it does have is if you want to have that 45 round mag, it's going to have a decent bit slower ADS speed than the Fennec. However, it's not going to be that bad. It's still going to be pretty good, it's still going to be pretty mobile, but you're just going to probably notice it a little bit. If you do have that rear grip on and you're running the 30 round mag like I do a lot, you're not going to really notice the ADS speed difference, and that's what I love about this gun. The second thing I think people aren't going to like is the rate of fire isn't as high as the Fennec. So what this means is if you miss one or two shots with the Fennec, it's really not that big of a deal because the rate of fire is so fast, it's not going to affect the time to kill. The STB is a little more powerful in the individual bullet when it hits. However, if you miss one or two shots because the rate of fire isn't as fast, you're going to get punished more severely in terms of the raw time to kill, and this is a big downside. But in my eyes, this is such a small downside compared to all of the benefits this gun offers that I just cannot recommend not to use it. Okay, that was really confusing. I'm just trying to say, use this. Watch this. This guy's what, 20-30 meters out. I pull out the STB and it's almost no recoil. He gets melted and dropped, and it was just so easy. This gun has super low recoil, it's great in the mid-range, it's great up close, and as I showed in that little stat chart, it kills faster than the Fennec. So if you're a smart player, if you're aimed down sight, if you have good positioning, this is one of those guns that's going to reward you, and I'd heavily recommend it for almost anyone. If there's one gun that I think people are sleeping on right now in Warzone, it's the STB. This thing melts people, it has that low recoil I just talked about, and it makes you a more versatile player. Because when I have the Fennec, I feel a little limited in the mid-range. When I have an RPK or the TAC 56, that ADS is a little slow with the 60 and 75 round mag, so it's difficult to aim down sight. However, with the STB, I feel confident winning gunfights up to 25, 30, even 40 meters out with this thing, as long as they're not on a head glitch or something like that, and that's what makes it so special in my eyes. This gun has the ability to beat Fennecs up close in 1v1s, and then it can turn around and outgun the TAC 56 in the mid-range, and that is a very unique combo and a very unique thing for a gun like this. In terms of stats and overall feel, this gun stands out as a close range competitor to the Fennec and all of the akimbo pistols you see, and it also stands out in the sniper support category. Now that's something that I think is actually pretty insane. One other thing I forgot to talk about earlier is I don't really tune any of the attachments on this gun, because if you don't know, there's a lot of negative there's a lot of negative things that can actually happen if you tune a gun incorrectly. So you have to really be cautious. You have to give it a lot of test and trial and error type thing, because no one really knows exactly how the tuning works, and there's a lot of irregularities to it, and people like True Game Data have delved pretty deep into this, so just keep that in mind. The second little thing I really want to end with is when you aim down sight and you're firing with this, just pull down on the recoil and go down and left just a little bit. Now this isn't always going to be perfect because there is a good bit more random recoil in Warzone 2 compared to Warzone 1, but for the most part, if you just pull down and go a little bit to the left, you're going to have almost no recoil, and it's actually pretty simple to do. As I mentioned before, guys, this gun, it's slept on. A lot of people don't know about it. This build, it's on par with the Fennec close range. It's on par with the cast off and TAC 56 in the mid range. So why wouldn't you want to use it? I hope you're enjoying the holidays. I hope you have a good New Year's when that comes up in a week or so. I just want to say sorry for the lack of videos this month. It's my birthday. It's December. It gets crazy. So I just want to apologize. Hope you guys have a good day. It's been Ryan. Peace.